Morning, data heads. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. 2026. I am Common Mays of the research team Florida. Um, got a lot that I want to go over today. First thing that I do want to go over today is the fact that our Discord, the research team, uh, me, a couple of my brothers, YS, Dove, Eden, Ghost, Deuce, you know what I'm saying? We got us Discord. And it is 2 weeks free trial period. After that, it's $10 monthly. It's definitely a $10 monthly subscription to win way more. The month of December, we were profited 90 plus units. This most recent week in January, we just got off of amazing weekend. Shout out to my brother Dove. Was going crazy with the NFL this weekend, hockey this weekend. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just glad that we got a channel where people can come and join and be a part of what's been. 1 second. Let me get the viewing. So give me 1 second. I just wanted to make sure. It's my apologies. Trying to make sure people get information. But yes, um, so yeah, shout out to my brother Dove. Shout out to my brother YS. Had a great banger. Y'all, I wish that some of y'all, were in the Discord to know, but it's always going to be more moments, always going to be more memories to continue to have. But just this weekend, um, my brother YS, he's a big Denver Bronco fan. He had Denver Broncos slip in the cord, and I think his name is TJ Franklin. I'm not a big football guy, just so y'all know, like going forward with this. Like, I'm not really that big of a football guy. But I think his name is TJ Franklin or like RJ Franklin. I don't know. I don't want to get somebody's name wrong, but he gets injured. I guess like the third play of the game or something like that, and it was the only pick on the ticket to miss because of the injury. So Hard Rock gave out bonus bets instead of just taking some off the top for the guy being injured. They gave out some bonus bets, and when they had the bonus bet money yesterday, they had came through and still cleared. With football, with the Rams, with the Bears, with the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother Dove team, the New England Patriots. So shout out to them for being able to provide people with you know good picks and some good knowledge to go along with it. That's what I try to do. We work on most sports books, and that's like one of my goals. I want to not only just make people money, like we can guarantee money being made, but I want me personally to spread the knowledge of sports. Like that's a goal of mine. So, without further ado, we get into some of these picks. I usually have like if you are a member in the Discord, you already know this. I usually have my own slate of picks that I will run throughout the day. Today, we shout out Happy MLK Day. We got a lot of sports today, but I usually have a favorite list on my CBS Sports app. I pick some teams that I like, and I pick teams that I feel like I can find value in them, whether they're a good or a bad team. Like, because I don't root for everybody. So, like, one of my plays for today, it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start with New Hampshire versus Maine. That is the NCAA basketball game. I got the total over 129 and a half points. Maine is the team in this stint where I usually find value in some plays, some teams. Um, in Maine, I think like I don't know off the top. I usually know a lot of things off the top of my head, but I can't remember their record. But they're like maybe like 3-14 for the season. Really bad team. Usually doesn't cover the spread, and that's why I usually pick teams that are going against Maine. Today, Maine is favored to win against New Hampshire Black Bears. I think they are, or the Maine Black Bears. I think it's New Hampshire Panthers or something like that. Um, but both teams average about 70 points a game around there. Well, New Hampshire averages 69 points a game. I know Maine averages like 66 points a game, but they'll get around 70 because both teams are bad defenses. So they're going to get to that 70-point mark. You know what I'm saying? The total over 129, not really too crazy for them to hit. Like if they could hit 60 points in the first half, you know what I'm saying? Like they can get to 65 in the first half. If one team actually can get to 40 points in the first half, that's going to be easy money to clear. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start time, you probably be paid by 3:30 on that play. I think that the payout is like minus 115, minus 110, somewhere along that for the total over 129 and a half. That is something that I am already playing. It's already on one of my tickets. Um, another game. This is my next game, I should say. One of my favorite games of the day includes my favorite hockey team, the Colorado Avalanche. My play for that game is Colorado puck line minus 1.5. They just lost back-to-back games in some really crazy outings. They lost to Toronto, fairly decent team. Toronto came through after the Colorado Avalanche had been on this like a 10, 11 game win streak. Toronto came through and they won a close game in overtime, 4-3. And then the Colorado Avalanche had 3 days off, and they played Nashville, who beat them earlier this season at Nashville. So when Colorado had seen them that day, they had lost that game 7-3. It was the worst defensive outing for Colorado this season. And I believe that they should have a super bounce back in today's game. They're going against the Washington Capitals, a very good team, but it is a middle of the pack team. There are people who know, if you follow hockey, you know Colorado Avalanche kind of just sit a little bit head and shoulders above the rest of the league. I do believe in Nathan McKinnon not wanting to be on a 3 game losing streak, and he didn't secure over 1.5 points in his last 3 games, I believe. Very uncharacteristic of somebody who was deemed the best player in the league, right behind or tied with Connor McDavid, who just had an exceptional game last night. So I believe um, that Nathan McKinnon and Connor, there's this point race. I think Connor now took the lead maybe by like 3 points. I'm banking on 3 points from Nathan McKinnon today. That will lead to at least 3 goals. And Washington got Logan Thompson in the net today. He was really good as a Las Vegas Knight this season. He's playing with Washington. I mean, he does have a good win record for them, but like he just lost to the Ducks, so I'm not sure that he's going to be able to handle the offense from the Avalanche. That line, minus 1.5 for Colorado, it is not plus money. It is something that Colorado has cleared almost every game, except obviously games that they lose. You know what I'm saying? And they've only lost about 11 out of 40 games this season. So they've cleared that minus 1.5 about 21 games. So I'm gonna be running that minus 1.5 for the Colorado Avalanche. But a player prop that you can take in that game, Nathan McKinnon, anytime goal. Okay, Nathan McKinnon is the best player on the ice, and I can guarantee you today Nathan McKinnon is going to score a goal. They are pricing that at minus 130. You can go ahead and put what you want on that play. I can guarantee you that Nathan McKinnon is going to score a goal today. Um, that's Colorado minus 1.5. It's priced at minus 105. Nathan McKinnon anytime goal is minus 130. You pair those together, you have a pretty decent parlay. My next game that I have is another college basketball game. It's actually one of my first teams that had me start doing this, looking at other teams and get value. It's a team, George Mason. The first time I seen them, they were heavy underdogs, um, and they were not. They were underdogs, and like the public bet for the spread, everybody had them covering the spread. And I went to go look into it because I'm wondering like why these people so heavily favored to lose, but the spread is only like 5.5 points, and everybody says they're going to cover the spread. George Mason ends up winning that game. And from that day, I started watching George Mason and paying attention to George Mason. I like George Mason today. Um, the last game that I took George Mason, I took them to win first half and second half and cover the spread. They lost the first half, won the second half, covered the spread. So this week, I'm not going to try to be super fancy no more, with trying to chase the money. I'm gonna just take George Mason at -2.5. That's what they're pricing them at today. I forgot their opponent. That is bad. That's bad. But their opponent is it's like I forgot what their opponent name is. I know it's New Hampshire and Maine. George Mason is going against somebody who the spread is only -2.5. So the team is supposed to be like it's supposed to be like a mid-American team as well. I just can't remember the name of this team. But George Mason has covered the spread in 7 out of their last 9 games. Okay. The only times that they didn't cover the spread is in games that they lost. I got George Mason winning today, so -2.5 is something I feel like is fairly, fairly good price value. It's marketed at -130 on most sports books. I think that is good money value for a team that has covered the spread for the majority of the season. George Mason, that is a 5 o'clock start game. And the Colorado game starts actually at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Colorado playing the early game is kind of crazy. But that's a 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is also, oh yeah, this is also 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. Um, George Mason -2.5. My next game that I got is the Florida Panthers game. The Florida Panthers are going against the San Jose Sharks today in Amerant Bank Arena or Stadium, Arena or Stadium. I think it's called Arena, Amerant Bank Arena. That's where the Florida Panthers play. Me and my brother, shout out to YS of the research team. Me and him, we went to go watch a Florida Panther game earlier this season, and I cannot tell you anything else but the energy in Amerant Bank Arena is legit. Okay. The New Jersey Devils came into town. They did not get a point. They were shut out by Bobby. Okay. I was in the stands going crazy. Bobby. I actually started a couple chants. You know what I'm saying? I believe that San Jose, even though they have Macklin Celebrini, one of the best players in the sport of hockey, by far. I believe that Florida, and I just got word from my brother, my research team brother Dove. He just let me know that Matthew Tkachuk, who the Florida Panthers have missed all season, I've just gotten word that he is back in the lineup. That doesn't mean that Matthew Tkachuk is about to be the X factor in the game. This is something that Florida is going to need to, you know, get into a rhythm with because they have a lot of missing pieces. But the return of Matthew Tkachuk does mean one thing for the Florida Panthers that I love the most, and it is going to come with Sam Reinhart scoring a lot more. With Matthew Tkachuk on the ice, for those who don't know, I love hockey. Okay, with Matthew Tkachuk on the ice, brother, Sam Reinhart is just going to have this open, like he's going to have more availability for these open scoring opportunities. That's what I wanted to say. He's going to have more scoring opportunities, a lot more. Sam Reinhart is somebody that is placed on the ice just for scoring output, and Matthew Tkachuk is an enforcer, a playmaker, a scorer. He's an all-around guy that's going to make sure that he gets his guy to puck. And Sam Reinhart having one of the best shot percentages, top 20 in the league and shot percentage, is not going to be, missing as much of these opportunities. He is about 3 points away from 50 points, which is like behind pace for somebody like Sam Reinhart. So to get an addition of Matthew Tkachuk is actually very beneficial for him and the rest of the Florida Panthers, who have Carter Verhege back. Brad Marchand, I do know, is sidelined at the moment, but with Carter Verhege back, Sam Reinhart and Matthew Tkachuk, our only person they're missing is Alexander Barkov. But Seth Jones. I know that Evan Rodriguez. For those who don't know who I'm talking about, like I understand that but these are just some of the most dynamic playmakers on the Florida Panthers, and Matthew Tkachuk just boosts their energy and their level of play by tenfold. The San Jose Sharks is one of the worst teams in the league. It is sad that Macklin Celebrini is going through what he's going through over there with them, but it is good for us when it comes to this fantasy and these sports betting. We're going to be taking the Florida Panthers money line. I also like the Florida Panthers to score a total of 3 goals today. And I didn't look into this odd. I didn't look into the odds on it. And I usually be right about these things. It's probably around like 175 to maybe 190, somewhere between there. Sam Reinhart, anytime goal. That is a great play today. Last time when we was me and my dog YS, we went to Amerant Bank Arena. Um, that was on my ticket. We went like right before we went in, into the stadium to watch the game. Um, we was talking about what we got to bet on, and Sam Reinhart over on a goal, and Sergei Bobrovsky over on the saves, and Florida Panthers money line. All those things cleared. Sam Reinhart scored in about the first 5 minutes of the game, so that's somebody that I would definitely use on my parlay slips today. And just so people who don't know, I will be dropping in the description below, in the comment section below later on today, what picks make it on what slips. I won't bet all these picks on the same ticket, but I will be pairing them with certain players, certain plays all across. So Florida Panthers money line, and for them to score a total of 3 goals today. Sam Reinhart anytime goal. That is something that I feel is great plays for you guys to go ahead and make some money on that today. Another team, my next team, I actually am a little like if YS, my brother YS was here, he would understand. Like it is this is a weird game for me, this next game. The games that I am going over, once again, these are games that are in my CBS favorited. I take teams that I do like. There are teams that I like Colorado is one of my favorite teams. I'm like partially a Florida Panther fan, but they do have a lot of fantasy value. This team, though, or both of these teams in this game, they have like weird spots in my heart for me. Minnesota Wild versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. I am a like kind of a fan of the Minnesota Wild. Like I root for them when I see them. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are a team that this season have made me a lot of money, but it's because of my disbelief in them. I don't know how to explain it, but I used to pick on the Toronto Maple Leafs. They were losing a lot of games earlier this season. Um, they recently turned it around. Very, very, very recently turned it around. Like I just said earlier, they beat Colorado. I think they went on like a 4 game win streak in that time span, but then they just lost to. I think they lost to the Blues. It could be Tampa Bay lost to the Blues or Toronto lost to the Blues. Sometimes I mix them up, but I know that Toronto was on a 4 game win streak. Um, and that was very uncharacteristic of him, especially since they played Hanneby and Joseph Wall. There's no Stolars. They played Hanneby in a couple of those games, and him and Joseph Wall are just not that good of goalies compared to Stolars, what they lost in Anthony Stolars. They're just not the same, um, caliber of goalie. But the players, the skaters on the ice, Ashton Matthews, Anthony Seralini. I think that's how you say his name. You know what I'm saying? Oliver Ekman Larson. Like these players are. I think Anthony Seralini is on Tampa Bay. Sometimes I confuse them because they're blue and white. But I know Aston Matthews, William Nylander, John Tavares, Matthew Nyes. Like those are all Toronto players. Those are all really, really good. I think even let me see, because I be having my notes here, right? Let me see. I think I have the plus minus of one of those teams. I think I have them. think I have. Is this the page? What was this? This is Seattle, Jersey, the Rangers. No, those teams didn't play that day. It's okay. I thought, what's this page? Okay, no, and those. Okay, so those teams didn't play that day. I thought I had Toronto plus minus keys in my notes. I thought I did, but I do not. That's okay. But Toronto, Austin Matthews, one of the best players in the league. William Nylander is sidelined at the moment, and that's what makes this a tricky game for somebody like me. I love the Minnesota Wild. I love Matt Boldy. I love Kirill Kaprizov. Matt Boldy is injured at the moment, though, and I do know that. That's what kind of makes this game kind of weird for me to pick. The last game that Minnesota played, they just beat the Buffalo Sabres, who have been red hot as of late. No Matt Boldy. They beat the Buffalo Sabres. Kirill Kaprizov had 3 assists in that game, and Quinn Hughes, I believe, had a goal. That is very Well, I won't say uncharacteristic of Kirill Kaprizov, but Quinn Hughes usually doesn't score goals. So in today's game, out of everything with that game, because I don't really like Toronto, but Toronto's at home, so I don't want to disrespect Toronto at home against a team in Minnesota who has been trending downward and just lost their second highest goal scorer, but last season, when Kirill Kaprizov went down, Matt Boldy carried the team. So this year, Matt Boldy is down, maybe Kirill Kaprizov, and in the last game, he did have 3 assists. So he may shoulder the load knowing that his running mate is gone. But they do have the addition of Quinn Hughes, who, since joining Minnesota, is up to a point per game pace. So I just I like Minnesota as a team, but because my goal is to tell the public things that they can make money off of, I don't want to just tell the public that they should bet on Minnesota today, even though I believe Minnesota is going to win today. So, what I tell the people, what I would want the people to bet on is Quinn Hughes for an assist today. It is a low priced play. I know it is. I know it is. It's probably minus 200. But that is a play that I can guarantee will happen today. Quinn Hughes over on an assist. And if you're scared of the assist, because I know I just said that his last game he scored a goal and it's uncharacteristic. So if you're scared of taking the assist, you could take him to get a point, but I can assure you that it will go from minus 200 to minus 225. Because like I just said, Quinn Hughes is on a point per game pace, and Toronto, albeit that they've been on a 4 game win streak, I'm telling you guys what the results on my green and red tickets are. Not every ticket is a winner, but on a lot of green tickets, I was taking Toronto to perform very poorly. Just recently did Toronto start being red on my tickets, and I got to sit back and be like, dang, okay, like one of the games when they played Colorado, and I'm over here thinking that my team is about to beat up on a team I've been picking on all season, and now I got overs on people that shouldn't have went over. I'm like very distraught, but it happens. Why can't we can't control those things when we put our money on these players? You know what I'm saying? But I definitely do my best to come and give you guys accurate information. So Quinn Hughes in that whole game, even though Austin Matthews is in there, Kirill Kaprizov is in there, Matt Zarokolo is in there, Ryan Hartman is in there, John Quinn Hughes to score a point, preferably an assist because it will pay you more, and that's what he's going to do. My next game that I got is NBA. This is my only NBA game of the day. I this is another oh my God, I wish and just so everybody also understands that the people I keep referencing are these are people that I am on this journey with. They're just not on this live with me at this moment in time. Even though it's MLK Day, they have families. You know what I'm saying? I am a single man, single, no kids. You know what I'm saying? My brother YS, he got his whole, life and child that he got to go with, and my brother Dove, he is a teacher who has multiple children that he is expanding their intelligence for the next generation. I don't got kids, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm here trying to let you guys know things that we're going to be talking about later on today anyway, you know. And in this game, my brother Dove, we have this like rivalry going on with excuse me, we got this rivalry going on with the Detroit Pistons and the Boston Celtics because it all started because of my brother Dove. When he see this, he might, do a live and try to correct it, but don't matter, Dove. Jalen Brown is 1B to Jason Tatum. Okay. And this is why this rivalry started because my brother Dove, for whatever reason, like people can have their opinion. Okay. But, one thing that he likes to say is, you don't really believe nothing until you put some money on it. That's something that my brother Dub be saying. So the opinion was that Jalen Brown is better than Jason Tatum. And look, guys, look, out of the group, right? Like we all know ball, but I'm the basketball guy. Like they can know their basketball, like they can know like my brother Dove, you know what I'm saying, be knowing his point guys, and my brother yes, he be knowing who gonna get the rebounds, and Eden, he be knowing the Brooklyn Nets and Anthony Edwards and Nikola Jokic, whatever. Listen, I know ball, okay? I know basketball, nigga. I ain't even see how long I went without cussing. Like I ain't even want to say the N word right there. But I know sports for real. Okay, well, I know basketball for real. Like I know basketball. So this man sitting here trying to tell me Jalen Brown is better than Jason Tatum. Like, bro, now check this out. Shout out to Jason Tatum. I mean, shout out to Jalen Brown because right now he's averaging about 28 points per game, and leading the team. And the Boston Celtics have not fell off like everybody thought they would in the absence of Jason Tatum. I I cannot hate on that. I can only respect that. Shout out to him. But my brother Dove is wrong. Jalen Brown knows that he's not better than Jason Tatum. Okay, like we've seen this from other NBA teams when they play the Boston Celtics. They game plan for Jason Tatum. Okay, the the man who should be the face of the league, in my opinion. But this rivalry has extended past just Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum because for whatever reason, like when we was starting out the season, everybody we do this like damn near every season. Like, all right, who you got, who you like, who you think is going to do this. Like last season, like it actually happened, but like it was just one of me and my boy YS we talking. I told him, yo, I see Anthony Edwards working out with KD. Like my wild take for the season is Anthony Edwards is gonna be going over 3.5 threes every game and probably have the most 3-pointers made by the end of the season. My brother Wyatt's not here to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? But if he was here, he'd tell y'all like we just had that as a conversation. It was something we was talking about, ended up happening. Made a lot of money off of Anthony Edwards, you know what I'm saying? Especially off the 3-pointers made. Shout out to him, he just dropped 55 the other day, career high. But my boy my boy Dove, he told me that that Cade Cunningham is not better than Jalen Brown. And I was distraught because going into the season, I told the group, I told him, I said, hey, I know I know that is Detroit, but Cade Cunningham is my favorite player in the league, and he's about to carry Detroit. Like Orlando Magic is my favorite team, so I didn't say that he was going to beat them. But now I got to start saying that. I think Cade Cunningham is the best point guard in the league. They say Shea Gilgeous-Alexander better than him. Cool, whatever. He dropped 30 every game. He don't average 10 assists, 9 rebounds. That's not what he does. Jalen Brown is exceptional. But if we're being honest, okay, Jalen Brown has help. He has way more help than Cade Cunningham. He has Anthony Simons, who was just the number one option on his team, and he's now coming off the bench. He was just the number one option on his team. He's coming off the bench for the Boston Celtics. Okay. He got Peyton Pritchard, sixth man of the year. Okay. He got what's my boy? Derek White, who's gonna go down as an all-time Celtic. He got Derek White, okay? And I know he's not playing right now, but when he comes back, he's gonna have all of 6'8" Jason fucking Tatum. Jalen Brown is I'm not a Jalen Brown hater. I love Jalen Brown. I tell my friends we need to protect Jalen Brown because the mind that he got. But when we're just talking sports, Dove, you gotta chill. Jalen Brown is not better than Cade Cunningham, brother. And it's going to be proven tonight because I'm taking the Pistons minus 3.5. Like he told me, he said, "Yo, you believe something by as much money as Dove. I'm betting the Pistons minus 3.5 tonight against the motherfucking." Can't even cuss. Don't want to cuss. I don't. I want this to be family friendly. I want you to be able to show this live to other people. You know what I'm saying? But I want my brother Dove to know you're wrong on this, brother. And this 3.5 that the Pistons are going to cover is going to show you. Um, Other than that, I mean, wait, I do have one more play. It's I just looked at my page. I do have one more play. Oh, there, look, there's my brother YS. My brother YS right there. Um, YS, I've been telling him, you know what I'm saying, a lot of good things. Ran through a couple plays. I don't know if you just seen that. I just kind of had a little mini rant where I kind of got mad at Dove because one of my plays that I'm giving out for the people is Detroit Pistons minus 3.5, and I just had to tell him, you know, Dove be trying my. And then this is why I don't like either, because like me and Dove will be going back and forth, and then he'll be like, "Hey, Common, I never said he was trash. Like I know you didn't say he was trash, bro. You said that Jalen Brown was better. Like I have a problem with that statement. Like I know, like seeing this is the thing, right? My boy Dove, my boy Dove, he has shown me. Yeah, man, I just took Kay Cunningham to get a triple double. Of course, like show me you taking Jalen Brown to get a triple double. That's what I want to see. That's what I'm trying to tell him. Like you can't say that your man is this good. He can't even give you a triple double. My man done gave you 4 this season that you won on, and he's done probably did like 7 triple doubles. So you profiting 60% of the time that this man out here doing something that your man can't do. But of course, you know, of course, I'm gonna hear from Dove later, and he gonna tell me how, oh, you know, Jalen Brown dropped 30 again. I don't get it. Listen. Go out there and lead your team to the number one team in the Eastern Conference, and then we'll talk about it. Because I told y'all that Cade Cunningham is like that. But I'm off of basketball now, Wyatt. That's actually my only basketball play of the day. I'm off of basketball right now. I gotta my last play of the day. I'm running back to for anybody who have missed it, but my last play of the day. This is something that I've there's certain teams in the National Hockey League that I be picking on them, and I don't know, like I just be picking on them, and the Vancouver Canucks is now my newest team that I look. I don't know what it is about the Canucks, but they're terrible. Okay, and now and I'm about to say something out loud, so maybe because I say it out loud, it's gonna go the other way today. But the Vancouver Canucks have not won a game since December 30th. They haven't won a game all year. Okay, like the year started, they have lost every game they played in 2026. They're gonna play the New York Islanders today. The Islanders are not the best team in the league, but they do have Matthew Schaefer. They have Bo Harvard. You know what I'm saying? They got a couple other decent guys. Anthony Duclair. Vancouver has been on an amazing loss streak that is just I don't know. The last 2 days, listen, man, the last 2 days, okay. The Islanders have been given belt. Really? I don't know. Look, I don't know. I don't. I like. I play attention. Like I told y'all earlier. Like I pay attention to a lot of sports, a lot of things. Like if the Islanders have been given belt, it's probably just not on my radar yet. Or are you saying that the Islanders are going to be given belt today? Like if you're saying, because if he's saying the Islanders are going to be given belt today, I understand that. But if you're saying that the Islanders have been given belt, like I would have to go look at those games to see. But I could agree today, because look, the Vancouver Canucks, they just lost 6-0 to the Edmonton Oilers. I think that I think they played last. Did they? They didn't play yesterday, but they just lost 6-0 to the Edmonton. Now look, Edmonton is a great team. So it's not like Vancouver is like walking out of that game like, oh, we can't let them score six on us. No, but they are walking out that game like, dang, we got shut out again the second time in the month of January. That's not good. That's two games that they couldn't get a puck past the goalie. And today, going against the Islanders, they're going to be playing one of the best goalies in the world, Ilya Sorokin. Like he's top five goalie all time, and well, not all time, but of this time, he's top five goalie at this time, and my total my only pick for that game is actually New York Islanders Vancouver over 5 goals because I'm not too sure how good the Islanders are going to play. I know that Quinn Hughes leaving Vancouver definitely worsened their defense, and Connor Garland was out, but Connor Garland is back now. Connor Garland is now on the ice for Vancouver. I mean, they lost 11 games in a row, but Connor Garland is back, and I'm not sure that the Islanders are the team to like. I'm not sure that's the team that you fear. I'm pretty sure that everybody in that locker room in Vancouver, it's actually at Vancouver today too. Pretty sure everybody in that locker room is gearing up for, you know, one of those, we gotta turn our season around. Like we gotta do something to get a point. We gotta do something. We gotta do something. I'm pretty sure that everybody in that locker room is with that feeling, with that emotion. The only thing is, I ain't gonna lie, 'cause I just thought about it. If they got Thatcher Demko in the net today, they could just listen. Thatcher Demko sucks. I can't ice skate. I could guard the net better than him. Okay, I don't even know how to ice skate. I don't even know what. I don't even. I just figured out that they be screening in hockey. I just figured out that if a person is standing in front of a goalie when someone else is shooting, that's called a screen. Like, listen, man, look, Thatcher, Demko, you set up a screen, you set up a goal. Okay, that's all you got to do. So if they got this man in the net today, then I will take, like I told y'all, you'll be able to check the description below later on. You can come back to this video where I'll have the video shared out so people later on they can look. But if the New York Highlanders got Sorokin in the net and Vancouver got Thatcher Demko in the net, I will be taking the Islanders over -1.5 because Thatcher Demko is not that guy. But if they got some other guy, I don't really want to say his name because I don't know how to say his name, but it starts with a K. If they got him in the net, Vancouver, they may have a chance being at home ice. So that's why my pick for that game is over 5.5. That's the projection for the line today anyway. And I kind of like the Islanders. Islanders beat Colorado this season. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that not being able to score. So I like the Islanders to be able to score against a team that is performing very poor this season. So those are my plays that I had for everybody. I'll run through them real quick. And like I said, in the description below, in the comment section below, in the description below, there will be a Discord link for you guys to come and join in on the Discord. You know, come and be a part of all this winning that we got going on. There's a lot of winning going on. Like why? Like, look, my brother YS. I don't know if he could join. I don't think he could join the live. He probably is working, but Lankinen is the expected goalie. I ain't gonna lie, that's not the guy who's. Wait, does his first name start with a K? Because that's not the guy that I was like. If his first name starts with a K, then it could be the guy I'm thinking of. But if Lankinen is the guy that's starting and his first name doesn't start with a K, then that's another guy that's like Thapsher Demko. Okay. Oh, his okay. All right. Look. We gotta check check the Discord. Check the description later on. But over five total goals in that game is still something that I mean, I think the Islanders are going to score about 4 goals. They're a really good team when it comes to scoring output. They've been in a lot of high scoring games this season. So I like the Islanders to score about 3 or 4 goals, you know, and an empty netter hopefully comes in there. Vancouver, I'm just banking on the fact that Connor Garland is back on the ice. This will be his third game back. I'm pretty sure maybe his third or his fourth. But with him having some time on the ice, I believe there'll be some cohesion that is made amongst the team for them to get at least 2 goals. They haven't been scoring. They like this is the thing, right? Like I understand that to go over 5.5 goals, you may need help from both teams on the ice. So I am banking on Vancouver to get me 2 goals today. I listen, guys. I promise you, that's like a 10 o'clock start time, right? But if Vancouver can muster out 2 goals, 5.5 is cooked. I'm trying to tell y'all, especially if Sorokin's in the net. Like, Wyatt, can you check that for me real quick? Because I don't know if Sorokin's in the net. But if Sorokin is in the net, if Sorokin is in the net, then 5.5 is something that we can bank on. If, ooh, ooh, you got children that must be going on, must be having some like something. I don't really want nobody to hear no discipline going on. But yeah, why yes, it's Sorokin in the net because if Sorokin is in the net, you know, that's the only thing that can make the total over under be something that is very like, you know, because then I can't really bank on Vancouver to get me 2 goals. Sorokin confirmed. I don't know. It's starting to look more like Islanders -1.5. See, I wrote that down too, but I wrote that down second. So I told y'all over 5.5 because that's what I felt. But I'm not gonna lie. Sorokin is one of the best goalies in the world. It's going to be hard to get a cut. Look, if the Islanders can score 3 to 4 goals, it's going to be hard to get 2 goals on Sorokin. So but like I said as well, make sure you check the description below later on. Maybe in about this is 10:46 Eastern Standard Time, so maybe about 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. Most of my plays will be out because the New Hampshire and Maine game starts at 2 o'clock and Colorado plays at 4. So most of my plays will be out before that time. But just to run this back through for anybody who may have missed, and for those who probably skip to like me, I'm a person that does that. Like I fast forward through like trailers and stuff like that. So if you just want the information, running it back again. First game that I have, New Hampshire versus Maine, over 129.5 points. Second game that I have, Colorado -1.5 against Washington Capitals. And a player prop from that game is Nathan McKinnon, anytime goal. Third play that I got is the George Mason Patriots -2.5. Um, Fourth play that I got, Florida Panthers. It's actually 2 plays. It's 3 plays with the Florida Panthers. So this would be my fifth, sixth, seventh play. Florida Panthers money line, Florida Panthers over 2.5 total goals. And since Matthew Tkachuk is back on the ice today, I'm taking Sam Reinhart anytime goal to go over today. Eighth play. This one is a player prop that doesn't give as much money, but it is definitely something that I would die on the hill of. Quinn Hughes in the Minnesota Wild Toronto game. Quinn Hughes over on an assist. It's priced at -200. My ninth play is the Detroit Pistons -3.5. And my final play is the New York Islanders -1.5 today. So data heads, I appreciate all you guys joining in. Like I said, Discord link will be in the comment section. And the plays that I do decide to run, like after I have the deliberation with my brothers, YS, he came down in the stream. For those who didn't know who I was talking about earlier, he has some comments in the stream. My brother Dove, he is it's MLK Day, so I know Dub is off, but he's still somebody I got to talk to a little bit later. My brother Eden, once we get back after our deliberation, do drop a little ticket for you guys on this YouTube live comment section. Hopefully, you data heads to be able to make it in time and make some of that money with us, because that is what we have been doing. We have been cashing out greens. We've been cashing out greens since the year started. It's January. Um, we're up about, I know yesterday, I know because I just read it in the Discord this morning. My brother Dove said over the weekend the profit margin for anybody that was following him, they was up 36 units. Okay, so hopefully that is something that is intriguing enough to get you guys to want to join the Discord. Hopefully these plays something that you guys decided. Oh, see, look, my brother YS for the month of January is 10-4 on his lock record. Like, this is something that like I we want to give out the good information coupled with winning picks. That is something that is why we keep a track of these records, so people know that these are things that we believe in, like, and we don't want to just be out here blindly saying anything. So you know we give out the information, give out the picks, keep a track record of it, so people know that we really believe in what we be talking about. That's why we put money on it, to win money more, to win some more money. So data heads, I hope all y'all have a great MLK day. You know what I'm saying? Go put something on the grill and enjoy the fact that you can walk in a Walmart and it could be somebody from a whole other country, as your cashier. You feel me? Like, because that is something that Martin Luther King would have wanted you guys to be happy for. So put a smile on your face and let's make some money today, you guys.